Analysis of the film The Truman Show, 1998. The Truman Show, released in 1998 and directed by Peter Weir, is one of the most intelligent and thought-provoking films ever made about the relationship between reality, media, and individual freedom. The movie tells the story of Truman Burbank, played by Jim Carrey, a man who lives an apparently ordinary life, unaware that his entire existence is actually a reality show broadcast 24 hours a day to the entire world. Since birth, Truman has lived in a massive film set surrounded by actors pretending to be his family, friends, and coworkers. The film serves as a profound critique of media power and the manipulation of reality. It anticipates themes that have become even more relevant today, such as the overexposure of personal life and society's obsession with image. The city where Truman lives, Seahaven, represents a prison disguised as paradise, where everything is meticulously controlled to maintain the illusion of normality. Jim Carrey's performance is one of the movie's strongest aspects. Known primarily for his comedic roles, here he delivers a surprisingly emotional and nuanced dramatic performance, skillfully balancing humor and depth. Director Peter Weir guides the story in a way that allows the audience to share Truman's confusion and growing sense of unease as he realizes that something about his world is off. Another remarkable aspect is the brilliant screenplay by Andrew Niccol, which offers a subtle yet powerful critique of the society of spectacle and the loss of authenticity in a world dominated by cameras and appearances. At its heart, Truman's journey is a quest for truth and freedom, and the moment he finally overcomes his fears and steps out of the show stands as one of the most symbolic and emotionally charged scenes in modern cinema. Curiosities about The Truman Show, 1998. The idea came before reality TV became popular. When The Truman Show was released in 1998, reality television was not yet a global phenomenon. The film actually predicted the obsession with watching people's private lives, which would later explode with shows like Big Brother and Keeping the Kardashians. Jim Carrey accepted the role immediately. Jim Carrey, known at the time for his comedic performances in The Mask and Ace Ventura, was fascinated by the script and accepted the role Truman. It marked one of the first times he took on a dramatic role, and it completely changed the public's perception of him as an actor. The entire city of Seahaven was a real place. The beautiful, almost too perfect city where Truman lives was not built in a studio. It's an actual town called Seaside, located in Florida. Its pastel-colored houses and ideal architecture gave the movie its surreal, artificial atmosphere. The film was inspired by philosophical ideas. The Truman Show draws heavily on philosophical concepts, especially Plato's allegory of the cave, which deals with the illusion of reality and the search for truth. Truman's journey out of Seahaven mirrors the philosopher's idea of escaping ignorance to discover the real world. The word Truman has a symbolic meaning. The name Truman is a play on words, true man, reflecting his role as the only genuine person in a world full of actors and illusions. It perfectly encapsulates the movie's main theme, the search for authenticity in a false reality. Lessons from The Truman Show, 1998. The search for truth is worth any sacrifice. Truman's journey teaches that facing reality, even when it's painful or frightening, is better than living a comfortable lie. True freedom only comes when we have the courage to question what we're told and seek our own answers. Media can shape and distort reality. The film reminds us how powerful the media can be in controlling perception. Just like Truman's world was carefully scripted, our own reality can also be influenced by what we consume on screens and social networks. Awareness is the first step toward personal growth and independence. We can't escape manipulation until we recognize it. Perfection is often an illusion. Seahaven looks like a perfect town, but beneath the surface lies control and deceit. The film shows that perfection is not always a sign of happiness. Sometimes it's just a well-decorated prison. Courage can change everything. Truman's final act, stepping through the door and leaving his fake world behind, symbolizes ultimate bravery. It's a reminder that the moment we face our fears, we reclaim control over our own lives. The film The Truman Show, released in 1998, had a production cost of $60 million and grossed $264,100,000 worldwide. The Truman Show 1998 received very positive reviews, earning a 94% approval from critics on Rotten Tomatoes and an audience score of 89%. Now, here's our opinion.
This is one of those movies that immediately grabs your attention the first time you watch it. The premise alone is fascinating. The story of a man who believes he's living a normal life when in reality, he's the main character of a massive reality show being watched by millions of people without ever knowing it. Every single thing in his life, the people, the places, the events, is carefully scripted and manipulated, and he has absolutely no idea. Isn't that an intriguing concept? What's even more impressive is that The Truman Show somehow predicted the future. Years later, shows like Big Brother appeared, following the exact same logic. People locked inside a house, constantly filmed, with their lives broadcast 24/7 for everyone to watch. In a way, the movie foresaw society's obsession with watching other people's lives. I have to admit that while watching it, I didn't realize it was actually a drama. That's partly because it has some comedic moments, and also because the lead actor, Jim Carrey, was mostly known for his comedies at the time. That made it harder to see the film as a drama, but when you watch it with a more mature and attentive perspective, you realize it's actually a deeply emotional and reflective drama, and arguably one of the smartest films ever made. One of the most powerful lessons the movie delivers is how it exposes people's alienation, how easily they get hypnotized by empty entertainment, reality shows that add absolutely nothing to people's lives. The film brilliantly highlights this. The audience within the story watches Truman's life as if it were just another TV program, without any ethical or moral concern about what they're really consuming. Personally, I've never liked that kind of entertainment. To me, it's pure dopamine, all stimulation and zero content. Anything that doesn't teach me something or expand my thinking just doesn't hold my interest. I can't consume that kind of thing. And honestly, I've never understood why people enjoy it so much. The truth is harsh. The movie portrays a sad reality. People are foolish and shallow. And that's exactly why these kinds of shows exist, both in fiction and in real life. It shows how people feed on illusions and distractions while ignoring what actually matters. The main message of The Truman Show is about the search for truth and personal freedom. It shows that living in a comfortable but controlled world is no different than being trapped. Truman represents the human desire to break free from lies, to face the unknown, and to own one's life. It's a powerful metaphor about authenticity, courage, and self-awareness. Beyond that, the movie delivers a strong social critique about media manipulation, voyeurism, and people's growing lack of empathy. It predicted the rise of social media, where millions of people showcase fake versions of their lives while others watch, comment, and consume without realizing that everything is staged. Today, we see influencers crafting perfect realities online, full of smiles, luxury trips, and endless happiness, while hiding loneliness, anxiety, and emptiness behind the screen. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok have become digital feeders where people perform idealized versions of life just to please algorithms and feed their egos. In the end, The Truman Show isn't just about a man trapped in a fake world. It's a mirror reflecting our own society. And perhaps the scariest part is realizing that in today's world, we're all a little bit like Truman, surrounded by illusions, living inside bubbles, and believing in realities carefully built by others. That's all for now. Session closed. If all goes well, see you in the next video. Until then.